What is going on, you guys? Zach here. Today, we're going to be talking about shooting your vlog and why this setup doesn't work. So a couple weeks ago, I went on a really great bike ride. It was for the Heart and Stroke Foundation. It was a 50-kilometer bike ride through the rain. It was torrential. I'd never gone on a 50-kilometer bike ride, so I thought this would be an amazing event to capture, as well as I went to a concert right afterwards, so it was like the super crazy day that I thought would be a great day to vlog. Now, the thing that I came across was I didn't want to bring my big vlogging setup because there was just no opportunity to really bring out my big camera, or I didn't want to get it wet and I didn't want to bring it to the concert. So I shot the whole video on my cell phone. The rain has stopped. It's super nice. Only like dark, super cool cloudy skies in front of us. And as a quick disclaimer, shooting like this is really great. And if you're a vlogger and you've been doing videos for so much, I think shooting high quality videos as a vlog rather than shooting it just completely off of your cell phone is way better, and it is a great progression for online content because we have to progress as an online video platform. For those like Casey Neistats or Peter McKinnons out there who are shooting high quality vlogs, good on ya. And I really like watching all of your stuff. The biggest thing that I see, and one of the things that I was experiencing on my race day, for instance, was the fact that I was limiting myself because I'm like, oh, I can't bring my camera. Or a lot of people will not shoot their day because they don't have the right gear. For the longest time, I was one of those people. But you have to realize an audience is forgiving for quality over story. So if you have a really interesting day coming up, maybe you are doing a 50-kilometer bike ride and they're going to a concert, don't miss out on that really great story because you feel like you don't have the right gear. You can shoot it really well, and I'm gonna teach you how to make your vlogs better by using just your cell phone before upgrading to a higher quality gear. So we're at field trip with Raven, and it's super duper awesome so far. Best thing about shooting on your cell phone is the fact that it is always there. No matter what, whenever I wanted to shoot, I just could pull out my cell phone and start filming. That would be impossible if I had my DSLR with me during like a bike race. I would have to stop, mount my bike, zip out my camera, make sure it's put in the waterproof case, and then gather my shots then. And that takes away from the story. If you have a big setup, sometimes that takes away from the experience, and having a smaller camera right then and there is much better. And if you watch a lot of the top vloggers, they'll shoot some of the best stuff on their channels by using the tiny point and shoot because that was the fastest camera they could access. So if you're a sports enthusiast or someone who's doing a lot of really crazy things, going to concerts, going to races, runs, bike rides, definitely consider shooting on a smaller camera to start. Now, once you've graduated, by all means, start shooting on bigger gear and better gear because that way you've experienced and tried it. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about a couple quick tips that you guys can implement into your vlogging shooting by using just a cell phone to make it so much better. Step number one. I think we're about like 10 kilometers in. It is super duper wet. All I can think about is dry clothes and Netflix. And essentially that gives the audience a bunch of things. A, they know I'm riding. B, they know who's riding. They know where I'm going, what I'm doing, and how I feel part of that experience. And that makes it so much more immersive. The biggest thing you don't want to do is overshoot yourself. There's so many vlogs, and especially people who are starting out, who shoot themselves the entire time. They have no idea what's going on outside of that experience. So make sure the audience can experience the surroundings and not just the host. So the other thing I realized was I've got a wide variety of different shots. And the greatest thing about shooting on a cell phone is you can put this thing in so many weird places. Don't get that the wrong way. But I was able to like put it like by my bike wheel. I was able to kind of do some like cool slow motion sweeping shots while riding my bike and water splashing up on the lens. You can get way better angles when you're at, let's say, a concert because people just think you're just shooting a regular cell phone footage. But what they don't know is you're a master vlogger. The biggest thing is when you're shooting on your cell phone, you can actually make up for the quality of the video in the edit. That's where you can like show your true colors. So to make your video a little bit better, I have two links in the description below. One is how to improve your footage in post, and then the second one is just talking about how to shoot better cell phone footage. So for your vlog, here's a couple things that I kept in mind while going into the edit. The first thing was I structured it the way I experienced the day. So make sure you tell the narrative like beginning, middle, and end. And for every I think 5 shots, I made sure I put in like one of those like, hey, what's going on, to keep that structure going. At the beginning, you should start out by like an introduction. So Casey Neistat does the date and then does like a little talk. And I kind of did that with mine. And then I started it by saying like what was going on part of the day to give it some sort of structured narrative. Okay, so just about to head out
It is super duper rainy out.
Then from there, you kind of show like how you got to the event or like what's going on, what's happening. I think we're about like 10 kilometers in. And again, whatever your style it is, whether it's like emulating Casey Neistat or doing your own sort of flavor, by all means do it. But this is just a good way to structure your vlog to make sure you tell a cohesive story and keeping it interesting. The other thing, you want to keep a good pace. Don't slow down because you think you said something funny part of the walk and talk and then that like stretches everything out. Make sure things are short and sweet to keep the audience engaged and interacted to what's happening. And so basically how I edited it was like at the beginning of the day, it was kind of rainy, it was like crappy out, so I edited a little bit slower. And then once things started to amp up, part of the concert later on at the end of the day, I did like a super cut to show the expression, how it felt at that point, because everything was so active and there's so much energy part of the whole event. Don't sacrifice a great story for shooting on big gear, because at the end of the day, big gear can actually hold you back when it comes to getting a great shot and shooting an incredible experience. Some of the best stuff that I've ever shot was done on a tiny camera because it was the camera that I had then and there. Thank you so much for watching this. If you guys have any ideas for future episodes, please comment it, give me a like, share it to your friends, and yeah, keep doing cool stuff and keep telling compelling stories. All right, I'll see you guys later.